last years of the 19th century, that human affairs were being watched from the timeless worlds of space. No one could have dreamed we were being scrutinized as someone with a microscope studies creatures that swarm and multiply in a drop of water. Few men even considered the possibility of life on other planets. And yet, across the gulf of space, minds immeasurably superior to ours regarded this Earth with envious eyes. And slowly and surely, they drew their plans against us.
Broadcasting live
from a tiny studio somewhere in North America.
This is Dark Matters Radio Live. And now I give you your host,
the Silverback of ufology.
Here's Don Ecker.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a special edition of Dark Matters Radio. Tonight is going to be quite a bit different than you may be used to, because joining me right now is a whole slew of KGRA radio hosts. We have Commander Cobra of Task Force Griffin. We have Mark D'Antonio and Amanda Curran of Skytor Radio. We've got Mr. Robert Stanley and Unicus Radio. We have Mr. Chris DiPerno of, Chris, I'm sorry, it just slipped my mind.
What, the Project Area show?
Project
I just go
show.
before you every Saturday night, but that's okay.
Yeah, well, usually I'm in a coma somewhere. But
it's starting early, Don. Starting.
Tonight, this is a very special show because of what is currently happening in the United States. We are, most of the other people are not locked down out here in the People's Republic of California, but I happen to be. We are under basically house arrest. Unless we're running out of food, then the authorities will allow us to creep down to our local supermarket, and hopefully there will be a few things left on the store shelves. But anyway, one of the reasons we wanted to do this very special show is to talk to our audiences about what is currently going on. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to throw the floor open to Chris, Commander Cobra, Mark, Amanda, Robert, and, folks, don't be afraid to join in. Incidentally, too, we are going to be opening up the phone lines before too awfully long to enable you to call in and interface with all of us here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a real pleasure to have you all on DMR.
Wow. Well, thank you, Bill. It's a pleasure being with
Don.
you.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you for having me.
I suggest we all put on our seatbelts because it's going to be a bumpy ride.
Yes, in fact, it could be.
I'm having an in-flight beverage right now, guys. I thought we were drinking tonight.
I'm drinking.
Okay, well,
Commander,
cheers.
Coffee, but I'm drinking.
I read, as a matter of fact, my beloved spouse pointed out to me a news article today that said imbibing copious amounts of alcohol, in fact, may drive the coronavirus back to where it came from, which incidentally would be China.
Yes. It's why it's
always
called
a name dropper.
Corona beer, right?
Dropper.
Yeah, well, the virus is driving people batty.
Oh,
first pun of the night. I'm sorry.
I could not believe it took that long.
Yeah, it's true, huh?
I have not heard yet that bourbon will kill this virus from the World Health Organization, but when they do, watch out. I'm going to town.
Slivovitz. Are you familiar with Slivovitz?
Single malt scotch.
I don't know. Is that close to like Everclear? I mean, down in California, you get that real.
It is an Eastern European plum brandy, and let me tell you what. At 140 proof, it is genuinely rocket fuel.
Kill everything in your system.
And clean your carburetor, too.
Yes, it will. I can tell you from personal experience.
Well, the virus will be gone, but so will your liver. So, I mean, hey.
Well, what the hell's it good for?
You know what? Don't ask me.
So we got Commander Cobra on tonight, Charlie Deuce, as he's very affectionately known by me, who just got a new communications system. He was very proud of that. What'd you get there, Deuce?
I just picked up a new LG phone because the old LG phone broke, was no longer working with the network. So it was good to connect in and be able to rejoin the rest of us on Prison Planet.
Well, that's noted. Nice chat there, Deuce.
I thought you were going to jump on Prison Planet, but okay. I thought there was more to it.
Well, we're out here behind the blue curtain, in sunny Southern California, the People's Republic of.
Well,
referred to as the behind the blue curtain.
Yeah, that's definitely a new one.
Yeah, for you too.
Yeah, I'm not much on the West Coast. Usually Nevada is about as far as I get to go.
Yeah. Wow.
Bill, here's my
Commander.
first question for you. I'm sorry, Don, Bill, whatever. Don.
Well, he didn't know your show, so I guess you don't know his name. So that's
I mean, it's kind of even now, right?
Yeah, it's lovely.
I got the Joe Biden.
Keep it up, bud. Keep it up.
We're both in that Joe Biden era. What can I tell you? The question I got for you is, Don, there's all this chatter about the virus going on. Where did this thing really start from? I mean, you're in the know with a lot of this stuff. You keep posting on stuff, and I'm being serious about that now. Some people think it's this, some people think it's that. What do you know about it, how this whole damn thing started?
Well, it all depends upon who you are listening to. Now, several weeks ago, Dr. John Brandenburg, a noted physicist, rocket scientist, friend of mine for 30 plus years, got back from a conference he was at in New Mexico. Okay. Now, he was out there. He has worked in and throughout government. He's been with the DOD. He's been NASA. He's done a lot of stuff, including he is a nuclear physicist, worked at Livermore Labs during the height of the Cold War when President Reagan was the POTUS in charge. Now, a bunch of former colleagues of his had a conference. He received a call, flew out there. Incidentally, when he came back with the flu, although it was not the coronavirus flu. But I had him come on my program because I wanted to talk about this. Now, I know a lot of people. I've talked to a number of those people about this virus. And I had a very interesting chat with Brandenburg, and he told me that several of these people that he met with were involved in the remote viewing program. Okay, the sanctioned one, this Project Stargate. And they had been taking a look through the remote viewing process about this virus. Now, the virus, by all accounts, and even initially, all right, when the stories first broke back in December and January, emanated from Wuhan, China. Or Wuhan, China. I saw a Chinese girl on YouTube stating what the correct pronunciation was. I'll just call it Wuhan because what the hell, I'm not Chinese. But anyway, it emanated from there. Now, this is where it gets dicey. Now, one of these remote viewers, and take this for whatever it's worth, remotely viewed that this had been a gene-manipulated virus. Okay? Then there was a story floating. It's because of the rather peculiar dietary occurrences of what many Chinese people in China will consume. Wild animals, bats, for example, and other animals that, we would definitely shy away from. At any rate, it came out of there. Now, the former government remote viewing guy said that he picked up, and once again, take this for whatever it's worth. I am neither coming down pro or con on this. I'm just reporting what I heard, okay? I'm being a responsible type journalist, citizen journalist per se. But this individual said that he remotely viewed that this had originally been a program aimed at the dissenters in Hong Kong. Now, you all will remember 5, 6, 7 months ago, the demonstrations, the riots, the clash with the Chinese government and Chinese police and troops by the Hong Kong protesters. Now, what this guy suggested was the plan, per his remote viewing, had been to release the virus within Hong Kong. But it somehow got away from them. Now, we all have heard about the Chinese doctor that tried to warn the world about this virus. He ended up being censored by the Chinese government, the commies, okay? The commies. And he ended up dying, apparently, of the disease. Unless, of course, they took him to a rear room and put a bullet in his head. I don't know. They've been known to do that, too. But at any rate, best guess, this definitely emanated from China, from the Wuhan city. It was attempted to be covered up by the Chinese government. It got to the point where they couldn't cover it up. All this time, they had their people flying in and out of countries worldwide. Fortunately, our POTUS, President Trump, saw the danger, and he immediately closed the borders to Chinese flights coming into the United States. Now, he took a tremendous amount of abuse for that from the left, but nonetheless, that's what Trump did. Now, we definitely have it. It's now in all 50 states. Unfortunately, the death toll in the United States, while still not astronomical, is rising. The death rate in Italy, for example, is hundreds of people dying every day. It seems to have closed in on the people that are, well, anywhere from 60 to 70 above, often fatal in that age group. Although the younger people, and you get a lot of dissenting opinion on this, that it's mild to asymptomatic among younger people, although you can be shedding viruses all the time. If you do get infected, and if you are asymptomatic, you're not showing any, any symptoms, fevers, coughing, hacking, that type of thing, you can still be deadly to the elderly in your family group. So this is kind of a sticky wicket right now. And, hey, anybody has anything, please chime in.
I'd like to add that there's a report came out of China a couple of days ago, it was reported by CBS, that not all cases, almost 50%, actually have nothing to do with respiratory. It's digestive. So you need to be aware of that fact.
But is it the same virus then?
Yes.
How do they know?
I don't have the report in front of me, Mark. Look it up. CBS is the one that reported it first.
Google it, Mark. Google it.
I just
That's the typical refrain of people when you say, "Well, show me the data." They say, "Well, look it up yourself."
Google it.
Please do.
yeah, but my question.
Somebody
though,
must knew because they went out and bought all this toilet paper. So
There you go.
there you go. There's a big sign.
Yeah.
It's amazing. North Korea reports they don't have one case. There's a shortage of bullets, but they don't have any cases of the coronavirus. They're running
they
out of
do.
bullets.
Doesn't
I
dare
have no
cross
idea.
do, but-
over.
They do, but they go away pretty quickly.
Yeah, one bullet and you're cured.
They got a % cure, yes.
Hey,
They
a
don't need
quick,
ventilators.
quick question, just something to throw in there. Did the remote viewers get any handle on why there's a run on toilet paper?
No, that was not even broached, Charlie Deuce. Not even once. But I'll tell you what, I can give Dr. Brandenburg a call and I can ask.
That was a real crappy question.
Now, speaking
Wow.
of toilet papers, no,
That's number
really.
2. That was my
Speak-
number 2 joke. Sorry.
Speaking of
Oh
toilet
yeah,
paper,
that's like a double entendre.
All right, my saber is completely sharp tonight, guys.
Boy,
Yeah,
Boys.
I can tell it's cutting both ways.
Sorry, Don. Go ahead.
yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I audible? Okay. Speaking of toilet paper, this is a true story.
Water.
So 3 days ago, okay, I'm here at the Hacienda, the Rancho de la
where this is-
Hacienda.
Oh my
That's,
God.
that's what I call my house, the
I know
Rancho
where
de
this
la
is going.
Hacienda. And there's a knock at the front door. So I go over to the door, look out the window, don't see anybody. I go, what the hell? So I open up the door, and it's my little neighbor boy from across the street. Okay? He's standing there with a big package of Charmin toilet paper.
Oh boy.
His name is Jack. And I said, well, hey, Jack, what's going on? He said, my mom and dad told me to bring this over.
Wow.
And I said,
Well,
they
nice.
did? Well, that's sweet. Well, tell them thank you. So I yelled for Vicky. She immediately called up his mom and, oh my God, that is so sweet. Thank you. So apparently they must have stocked up on TP
Oh.
and were taking pity on us. But as it turns out, we do have TP here. But I graciously accepted it. He smiled and ran home. So true story.
Yeah, never look a gift roll of toilet paper in the hole, I guess.
Never.
Is that where we go bump?
Yeah.
I'll let you.
I'm surprised.
I'm
that
drunk
there was no
already, guys.
comment about the British lilt of Decker on dissenting to dissenting. I thought that was very nicely rolled earlier when he was going through that. I found
He
that
is a silver-tongued devil, yes.
Now the silverback, the silverback.
silverback, silver tongue. Yeah.
And incidentally, that was not my moniker of choice. Okay,
Why
I
would
wondered
you
what
want
the
to
hell
eat a
they were
bat?
saying when they laid that on me.
Wait, you were called the silverback or the silver tongue?
The silverback of ufology. That's what they call me.
Well, that implies someone who has wisdom and, of course, controls all the women in the troop.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not going to go over big with my wife, but
I know.
okay.
I mean, that's part of the question here, Don. Right? I mean, we don't want that to happen.
That's not going to go over well with my spouse, but all right.
So, do you guys seriously believe anything that's coming out of the People's Republic of China for news?
Absolutely not.
Not
Just
a
like I don't believe
damn
anything
thing.
out of the People's Republic of California.
There you go.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to accept a lot of this. I mean, one of the things, for instance, there was a great article by this doctor who was a doctor of medicine and epidemiology at Stanford University. I passed this around to a few people, and some listening know exactly what I'm talking about. And in it, he says, the virus may be bad, but we don't really know because we're basing every decision on totally unreliable data. Now, if you have 100 people that are presenting as sick and you test them and 10 turn out to die from coronavirus, then the lethality is gauged at 10%. Now, they originally said this was like 3.2% fatality rate, 3.4%, but it was based on incorrect data. It was based on those that presented sick already. So the much higher likelihood was that these folks that ended up dying had corona, were sick, and of course that skewed the numbers way up. This article by this doctor actually says the true lethality rate of this virus, he had two conclusions. The first one was the true lethality rate of this virus is literally, and he said this in the paper, I can get it to everybody, 0.125% to 1%. He said,
wow.
That's what he actually said the lethality was. He said, had the Chinese not reported this at all right, then this would have just passed by as a somewhat more virulent than normal flu season. And that's how it would have ended. But because it was reported like this, because it's been characterized by the media the way it has been, it's blown up into something that I think is dangerous for people who have asthma and other things. Yes, but any flu is. Any respiratory ailment is. It's dangerous for all those types of people in general, as is this one. All right. However, I think that it's been overblown to a much higher degree than a bad flu season would have presented as. And I put that out there for you guys to just ruminate on. But I just think that I don't find that I see a whole lot out there that makes this the 1918 Spanish flu, which originated in Kansas, by the way, and was hardest on Spanish people, which is why it was called the Spanish flu. It had nothing to do with Spain. Anyway, go ahead.
I just
Well, you went away.
Yep, he did.
Well, I'm going to just add this. Why all this is going on, I want to know what's happening. Meaning, when I see any kind of a series of events that go on like this,
yeah,
to me, this is classic throw your attention off to one side or focus at the center of the stage while something else is going on.
Yeah, we call that misdirection, right? I mean, I do magic, I do magic tricks and stuff and have for many years. And I got good at misdirection, making people look one way while you're doing something else that you don't want them to see. Sure, it could be a misdirection case. I agree.
Well, I told my spouse about a week ago that I usually get up really early in the morning, around 5:30, and I come out, get a cup of coffee, and I sit there, I wake up and I ruminate. And I was thinking about this. And I was involved in military intelligence operations when I was in the Army in Vietnam. And I got to tell you, the more I looked at this, the more I looked at the reports that were emanating from the news, radio, television, the internet, you name it. I started to get a very, very funny feeling in my gut. Now, when I was a cop, I depended on my gut, okay? Call it a gut feeling, intuition, whatever. But it usually served me well. And I've been looking at this, and I got to tell you guys, ladies, I think there is more to this than simply a flu, okay, or the virus. That's simply my gut feeling. What do you think about that?
I concur.
Well, I'm comparing it to, how did we deal with the swine flu, with H1N1, with MERS, with SARS? This is actually a SARS-related virus, this one. How did we deal with the West Nile? And all the different viruses that have struck that have had no initial cures have been, of course, extremely frightening and, of course, made people think twice about going out. And I remember when I was younger, with swine flu. I remember my mother told me I couldn't go outside unless I put something over my face to protect, myself. It's like, and I did it because I felt like I had to because mommy told me to, but I didn't know why. And she made me wash my hands all the time, and it really bugged me. I couldn't stand it. Little kids, we like to do all kinds of things and stick our fingers up our nose and in our mouths and all that. And luckily I stopped doing that last year, but hey, that was a thing, right? But, so I don't know, Don, I think that maybe I just, aside from the media response and the governmental, responses, I have yet to see data that indicates that this is really anything more than just a slightly more virulent flu.
Well, let me tell you something else that bothered me greatly. And that was a week, 2 weeks ago. Do you remember all the public outcry, the weeping, wailing, gnashing of teeth about the lack of face masks? Well,
Yeah.
This is what I heard on the tube. Ladies and gentlemen in the public, don't try to get face masks. It's not going to do you any good. And by the way, there aren't enough to go around to our medical first responder personnel.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. They just told me, don't bother trying to get a face mask. It's not going to do any good. And besides, there aren't enough face masks for our medical people and first responders.
Right.
Did you catch that?
Yeah, it's good enough for them, but certainly not for you. I get that.
No,
I don't inhale.
No, what they were saying is first responders and medical personnel need those face masks. You can go to hell. That's what they were saying.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Same thing. I agree. We're on the same. And that's right. I think that was a poorly worded message, frankly. And I heard that. I think that's pretty low to say that kind of thing. I think it's also pretty bad when you basically hang your population out to dry. And I think that those that actually believe this is a global pandemic are going to respond and say those types of things. Those that are truly panicked will say those types of things. If you're more metered about it and you're more careful about what you say and you actually do a real overview that makes any sense, Don, I think that you will find people saying things like, well, yes, we would like our medical personnel to always, of course, have masks available because they use them on a daily basis. It's part of their job.
As they rob you blind. Go on.
Well, not the first responders. They're not robbing.
Oh,
you
no,
blind.
no, no.
And not
Of
the
course not.
nurses and the doctors and the
But
emergency
the medical
room.
system, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. Go on.
No,
I
that's
was early. I was early on my. Well, timing is everything, guys. I'm drunk now. What do you expect?
Oh, my gosh. We're going to have fun with you tonight.
That's what she said.
Oh,
Wow. Hey, wow. We step right up there.
welcome to the T13 Don Ecker Show. Let's not go to rated R. So yeah, but that's my feeling, Don. I know I don't want to go on too long. We got a lot of people here to hear from, but I just think that they would be more
But
metered.
yet you continue on, Mark.
Okay, did y'all get that? I'll shut up now.
Wow, that was sharp.
He must be drinking too.
What happened to Amanda?
Oh, she's here.
Oh
Trust
my God! Don't bring me into this.
Yes, you must. We need some female energy to balance this thing out.
She had her mic muted.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know. The Chinese must have dropped my call. I've been trying to get back on for the last 5 minutes, or Bill probably just dropped
Well, you're
it.
here now.
yeah.
Is that,
And Robert Stanley has been noticeably quiet.
No, it's just a new personality that you didn't recognize. He's been very active so far on your show.
It's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. When I drink, that's why I don't drink, guys. Okay, at least not in public.
Yeah, see, the people in my stream, I'm actually streaming live too on YouTube at the same time, and my chat room is full of people that are speaking lots of comments. Lowest of the low, and they talk about the government, doing their things, and all those things. There's a lot of things, Don, that you think about this crisis that maybe I don't think exactly the same way about. But you do, as you say, you live in the People's Republic of California. You might have a different perspective than I do in the socialist state of Connecticut.
Let me roll a couple.
Where else
points here? Let me
where
just roll
else
a couple
can
points.
where else can you defecate in the street? especially okay when it's a known fact that the coronavirus may be transmitted through human fecal material.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Now, I could have said that more pointedly, but we have a lady online, so
Hey, Don, I understand that you believe in the Second Amendment down in California now.
Oh, I always have.
No, they do. All of a sudden, the snowflakes. Maybe I shouldn't have said snowflakes.
Yes.
The progressive people now believe in the Second Amendment with this thing going on.
Yeah, it's funny how that worked out, isn't it?
Yeah. The guy is selling guns, but he's out of bullets. One day interviewed some guy at a gun shop, and he goes, "Yeah, the guns are going crazy, but I ran out of bullets, so I don't know what to give them." It'll be bows and arrows next, baby.
Hey, I always thought that a crossbow would be a great little item to have in your repertoire.
Yeah, they're actually very effective.
Yeah, the Viet Cong used those too. I mean, you never knew where it came from.
Let me pose a couple points for questions for discussion here, and I'd like to hear it round the table if we get the opportunity to get that far. Why do you think the media is playing this the way they are? And do you think the second part of that, is this showing just how bad we are in the tank to the PRC for the kind of money and the situation we find ourselves? And that extends all the way out to our inability to produce our own medications anymore. We can't even make shoes anymore like we used to. Your thoughts?
I'll start. Back during the William Jefferson Clinton administration, in the early to the end of the 90s, they outsourced a tremendous amount of stuff to China and other places around the globe. Lest we forget the NAFTA deal. Oh my God. How much industry, how many factories were exported out of the USA into places like Mexico? I mean, they were sending car manufacturing down there. I mean, it was a fiasco. Not to mention, stuff that enabled the Chinese the communists, to successfully launch their missiles and rockets. Guidance stuff. I mean, when I heard that, I couldn't believe it. And during that period of time, now, many of you will not have probably recalled this, but a Chinese general made a public statement that they could successfully, if push came to shove, nuke Los Angeles and other huge metropolitan areas in the USA. Nary a word came out of the United States after those announcements were made. Just like very recently, the Chinese stated that if we get too pushy and if we piss them off enough, they'll cut off shipping us pharmaceuticals. Now, there's no doubt in my military mind that they could have gotten away with that with Obama or Clinton, perhaps even W. Bush, but
probably HW as well.
Yeah, but this guy we've got now, I don't think he would take well to announcements like that. Deuce, you remember those?
I do, but if we're going to roll back on that, we need to go all the way back to Nixon opening up the great door to China
and Kissinger.
and Kissinger. And we couldn't offend them then. And the thought was, and it was altruistically, I'll say that I think everybody had their best intention forward on it, that if we brought them into the family of nations, if we did all these things, that they would join us and they'd go. I got a lot of friends that live in Taiwan that live under the fear that they're going to get crushed by the PRC at any given moment. One of the questions that came in the chat room regarded, do you think this is connected with the tariffs? It's absolutely, in my opinion, connected with the tariffs. It's directly related to POTUS Trump playing hardball and saying, look, we are not going to continue to go down the same road that we have. This is BS and it's going to stop. And I think this is what happened. Now, I know Mark and I disagree on this. This was weaponized. There's no question in my mind about it. Even if they did nothing more than isolate it, infect their own people to quell Hong Kong, and then let it run loose. And then, because they consistently lied, they being the PRC have consistently lied from the start of this.
Well, they have. That's not untrue. I don't think. I think you're right about that.
I mean, this is right up there with one of the scenarios that was ran about 8 years ago when we had anthrax going through the UK and Ireland. And there were great concerns in the United States that we were going to have Al Qaeda operatives get the spores on them and fly into the United States to cause the same kind of harm that went on.
Yeah, this
is always something that is prevalent. It's been going on since the Bible's second edition in biological warfare, and this is just an extension of that. The PRC was on their heels, and they are coming out full-fledged. And what aggravates me more than anything else on this position is the way our media has played this, that you can never offend the Chinese while we're supposed to be up against the wall. And you're right, Mark. I still haven't completely bought that everything that is going on is got the lethality that they're talking about on with this. But I'm willing to go far enough to say, okay, let's isolate, let's do this thing, let's come up with the plan.
Yeah.
But Commander, here's the question I have for you about the media. And there's two things I want to point out. One, who owns the New York Times? Who owns these ragtag papers that are spilling all this crap? Who actually owns CNN? Who are the people that are behind the scenes that are really telling Zucker and all these other people, this is how we're going to play this game? How much money do they have in China right now that they are so afraid to lose that they will smear this president and smear anything about it, for the sake of not losing their greedy little money over there? So I think that's one of the reasons why the media. And the second thing is the Chinese are biggest liars in the world. Like that, I don't sound like Don with that.
Yeah,
one.
let's be specific. There's lots of Chinese involved in this. If you're talking about the Communist Party, the People's Republic of China, I think we need to be differentiating that. Because the people of Hong Kong are waving American flags, okay? They want out from underneath this boot that they're under. The people of Taiwan have handled this. Everybody in that part of the world learned that you cannot trust the Chinese, the PRC side of this, after the SARS epidemic. Singapore got their act together after that because they were never going to trust them again on that. That's why they're not in the mess that the rest of the world apparently is in.
But here's why I agree with you with the weaponization part. Because they knew this virus is out. They knew this thing was deadly. Yet they allowed thousands of people right at ground zero to have, a potluck dinner or a big festival that infected all those people, and they spread it all through the place.
You mean in China?
I mean, coming over, yeah, right there. They had it right down at ground zero where the stuff was. They had thousands of people.
I think it was the Lunar New Year's.
Yeah,
is when that happened.
And they knew about it. So,
well,
I mean, if you're going to do this for your own people, you have no conscience about doing this to another country.
Well, for sure, and the Chinese, in my view, and Don, you may agree with this, and Commander, the Chinese are really and I know this from my work. I work with the Navy a lot, and I know for a fact that the People's Republic of China is now the considered enemy of the United States. Yet we have a love-hate relationship with the Chinese. And it's only against the government, though, not against the people, of course. I mean, I think you guys agree with that, yes?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but I mean, leading up to this, you had the NBA and everybody else saying that they're still going to China, they're doing their thing. Anything that seems the least bit offensive, we're not going to follow. Anything that there was no backing, the tariffs weren't going to work, all this other stuff that's going on. We took a bad deal, and this is where we ended up with. I'm sorry, Chris, go ahead.
When this whole thing is done, they shouldn't be even making toilet paper for us over there. I mean, when we're done, first of all, they're trying to, threaten us by saying we're going to cut off your pharmaceuticals. That is definitely, as far as I'm concerned, a threat to the United States, and I think everybody will agree with that if they're going to start cutting off that stuff.
It's a threat, but we did it to ourselves.
If you guys remember your history, and if you've ever studied the Russian Revolution when the Bolsheviks took over, Vladimir Lenin made a statement, and I'm referring to the NBA and the number of NBA players that have gone over there that have ended up being mouthpieces for the Chinese communists, that capitalist will sell you enough rope that you can hang them with it. And that's exactly what has been happening. These bastards have been bought off by the Chinese Communist Party.
Sure.
Period.
Why corporations marched over there and did it. So if you're going to look in the mirror, because we did this to ourselves.
We did
this to ourselves.
I won't have an Apple product, period. I will not have one. Sure, I know that they're an excellent telephone. They make excellent computers. But as far as I'm concerned, they're way overpriced. They've been bought out by the Chinese communists, and I just won't have one.
Well, you're right on that. I think. I mean, and my biggest pet peeve with, say, if you want to go down the thing with Apple products, my biggest pet peeve is the fact that we have these big expensive phones that cost up to $1,000 a piece. I will not buy one of those. I have an iPhone, but an earlier one, and you can't change the battery in it without going through hoops, and that kind of thing is the ultimate in arrogance. They think you'll just spend money on another phone when your battery dies 3 years later. It's planned obsolescence, and I hate that in cars. I hate that in other products. My mother's stove lasted 35 years. My mother's refrigerator lasted 40. Okay? Now my refrigerator is showing signs after 4 years old of breakdown. I already had to replace several pieces on it that just broke. None of that happened with these old appliances. So, I mean, we're looking at, and that's another thing, okay, but it's planned obsolescence. So we're being force-fed new products, and those products last a shorter and shorter time in the same way that we're force-fed agendas, and we just grow to accept them, you see?
Well, my question is very simple, okay? Living out here in La La Land like I do, okay, and being involved in the kind of business that I've been involved, my wife and I have been involved in for decades now, I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people that go out, they go to movies, restaurants all the time, go out clubbing, etc., and suddenly everybody is locked down. Now, having been a cop for a long time, I know how people can become. And I give the public at large, and I'm going to be very interested in anybody's input. I give the public another week locked down, then cabin fever is going to drive a ton of them nuts. And then we're going to have some exciting times. Gentlemen, ladies, what do you think?
I'm locked and loaded.
I want to hear what Amanda thinks with a unique perspective.
She's
even further north than myself.
Yeah. Amanda,
I hope when this is all over, there's a massive surge to restaurants and bars and outings, and hopefully everyone's happy to see each other. I think Maybe not.
Yeah, I think
high
so. But
fives
what about
and stuff?
But what about the question? Do you think another week of lockdown and your cousins to the south of the border are going to start acting up?
Well, look at the people on the Florida beaches right now.
Well, they're acting up.
Yeah. And 3 other states are on lockdown. So unless everyone gets it together, I mean, people are going to be sneaking out. People that are coming back from holidays and stuff are going to the grocery store to stock up before their quarantine. That's not how it works, you know? So I don't think in another week are people going to get cabin fever. I think, you know, a lot of people are ignoring the whole stay-at-home rule anyway, so...
Well, we don't actually have a stay-at-home rule here in Connecticut.
Well, it's being advised very strongly to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the social distance.
Yeah, the social distancing, you know.
But most things are closed. Is that not how it is in the States? Bars, restaurants? I mean,
yeah. Only takeout, but the staff that work there are still working there and give you your food in the takeout window. But let me pose you another question. Now, if you're that worried about transmission, because they say there have been studies already that this particular virus lives on cardboard for a period of hours. So if you get a hot coffee at a McDonald's drive-thru, it's handed to you by someone who could be sick. You grab it out of their hand. They put the cover on by pushing down on the top with their hands, sometimes contacting where you're going to put your mouth. Here, now, you want paranoia? There you go. There's some more.
But they're wearing gloves, Mark.
No, they're
The
not.
virus hates gloves.
Yeah.
And hand sanitizer. I can't stand that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
see,
Yeah,
the
she's gonna
paranoid
film
thoughts,
it.
the paranoid thoughts I have are, even if you washed your hands, the second you pick up the gloves to put them on, your hands are dirty again.
You're supposed to wash the gloves before you take them off and let them dry. And then you're good.
But it'll never work because there's bacteria the second you...
Okay, what is
Wash your
viruses? Yeah, viruses are. Guess what? Viruses are raining down on us all the time, and you get one mouthful of seawater and you've just got like 50 million units of virus in your body.
Yeah, we can't
survive it.
You know, we have an immune system that and immunities that we've built up over the years, obviously, and so I'm pretty sure that this immunity we've built up has been working for us. I can tell you this: if you actually did the true number of people that might test positive for this particular virus, you'll find that it's a hell of a lot more, as Don would probably agree, Commander, and you, Robert, and Chris, a hell of a lot more than is currently listed. This immediately changes the lethality ratio. And the lethality ratio, I guess I said before, was like 3.2 to 3.4% when the flu's only like 1%. Well, yeah, but they've had a lot of years to measure the different flus and the different strains. And, there's always a different vaccine for the flu. This one is late to the table because it arrived so abruptly. But people are already getting vaccinated for this flu already. But
yet, there is a malarial medication that has been touted as perhaps being the magic bullet.
That's correct.
Don,
I remember that.
What do you think of that malaria medication? Because I will tell you, there's been some studies that have shown it to be very, very promising.
Coaquin, right? It's like Coquin or something.
Yeah. Well, the president in his address the other day stated that this is already a tried and approved medication. This medication has minimal side effects, and it's being used, I believe, in limited quantities right now. With if it proves out, they're going to be doing a lot more of it. But we still haven't gotten to my initial question. What do you, ladies and gentlemen, think about another week or so before a lot of people just throw their hands up? They say, the hell with this quarantine, and then what?
Don, can I chime in on that question?
That's why you're here, Chris.
Thank you. Well, I'm just trying to be polite, folks. It's a little different.
Don't start now, Chris. Don't start.
No,
now.
it's
too late.
Too unusual.
It's like you're already. It's like the virus. You're already out.
Yeah, I am.
Don't start.
Anyways, I got a friend down New York City who's a cop, and we've talked regularly about this, and he's said SWAT teams are already geared up. They think the run is going to be at the hospital. They are ready and prepared to worry about a siege at the hospital, and where people are actually going to be going crazy there after about a week or so of this, that every sniffle they think is going to make them think, oh, I got the coronavirus, I better run to the hospital, and they're just going to be over sieged on that. All the hospitals here in New York, I can tell you, my wife is a nurse, that some of the hospitals are also gearing up to, Onondaga County just went to a wartime condition at the State University Hospital. So here you go. You got a hospitals already saying that, knowing that people probably are going to go a little goofy in the next week, like you say. Whether it's going to be for food, whether it's going to be because they can't stand their spouse and they're going to run out the door, or whatever it's going to be, there's going to be some problems. The other thing you got to worry about is home invasion.
No, I don't have to worry about that here.
Don't go any farther with that, Mark.
Well, I have a question. If most governments are saying that work has to be shut down, you have to stay home from work, where do you think these people are all going to go in a week's time?
Crazy. I'll tell you, crazy.
More so than already?
Yes.
Okay, what are they going to do? I mean, if they can't go back to work, they can't go back to schools, nothing's open. I mean, what do you think's going to happen in a week?
They're all going to tune into KGRA. I'm sure of that.
Hopefully.
Well, if they did, we could probably keep the lid on this if they were. We need to get more people listening to KGRA and this fine program. But I may like to, if I could, Don, let me just jump in real quick. I think what you're seeing, or what you're alluding to, I think maybe the better way. People are only going to take this for so long, and if you listened clearly to how Mark delineated this, if things do not start to pan out, or if we're not getting some happy news, if we don't get some kind of direction going on, people are going to start getting frustrated. That's not the one I'm worried about. The one I'm worried about is we have a continuous beating of the bush here that this is absolutely the end times. And we are, it still does not make sense. And this is my original point that we were talking about. The misdirection, the deception that's going on here, to me, is for a much greater cause. And that is to drive the markets down, to cause a worldwide depression, or at least a worldwide recession. This is to just hammer us down to this point. And this is when you're going to have the situation where people are going to make the run to the hospital, or something else is going to go out. I'm glad we have a president that is standing there and calling the press out for their shameful behavior that's going on. Guest I had a couple of weeks ago, he won't even deal with the so-called journalists because they are not following any kind of journalistic integrity. And if you watched anything that has gone on this week during the president's and the vice president's news conferences that have gone on, there's nothing to look at there that you think you're getting the truth. And that was one of the reasons we decided we were going to get together this weekend and kind of jam these shows and take people's questions to try to get some word out, and to also have a couple laughs, hopefully, along the way, which Robert obviously destroyed in the first 30 seconds of the show.
I took you guys too seriously. I thought this was going to be a cyber bar, since nobody can congregate in person. This was going to be a virtual bar where we're going to have drinks and laughs, and Don was going to sing some songs.
No. Don didn't say he was going to sing any songs.
No. You were giving us a rendition of Danny Boy.
I
told you.
I told you.
Robert, you're supposed to first walk into the bar before you start drinking. You walked into the bar already full.
No. By the way, gang, let me make an announcement here, because we are very close to the top of the hour, just a couple of minutes away. So when we come back after the top of the hour break, I am going to throw the telephone lines open. I invite you to give us a call, talk to Commander Cobra, Robert Stanley, Chris DiPerno, Mark D'Antonio, Amanda Karen, myself. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I did. And this will be your opportunity. The topic tonight, well, it could be the bar, or it could be about, we don't have any strippers in here either, do we? No, I guess that's not politically correct.
Luckily, the camera's not on up in Maine.
Yes. But anyway, if you'd like to call in after the top of the hour, this is what you do. Give us a call at area code 855-472-5483. That's 855-472-5483. Or the easy way, 85 KGRA Live. And of course, all of this is being brought to you courtesy of the Paranormal Radio app hotline. And guys, we've got about 45 seconds. So Charlie Deuce, entertain us for 45 seconds.
Entertain you for 45 seconds. Well, obviously, if you've been going in the chat room, you probably saw a number of my very funny pictures that I have been putting into the chat room.
I refuse to try to go into that chat room. I can't say it on the air, but it's a real cluster mess, okay? A real cluster mess. I get thrown out all the time, so I just won't play anymore.
Well, that will be the enlightening moment of joy and happiness from Commander Cobra as we go to break.
Yes, it is that time. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back after the break, and when we come back, give us a call.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now to angioprim.com. That's ANGIOPRIM.com. Or to speak with a trained consultant. Give Angioprim a call at 954-882-7221. That's 954-882-7221.
Folks, this is very important information. What's to be said about CBD? AncientLifeOil.com. Our CBD is made from hemp and has 0.003 THC, which means this wonderful product won't get you high, no matter what amount you take. What does CBD do for the body? My hands are tied. But you can Google CBD benefits and be astounded. When you're finished reading, you'll want to log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. and purchase. Life is good when you feel good. People are tired of pain. People are asking for non-GMO organic products to help them with, you fill in the blank. Legal in 49 states, and again, our CBD is made from hemp. Ancient Life Oil is about helping people one by one by one. If you wonder how good the product is, the CEO takes it every day without miss. AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Have a great day. Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late? We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, if you're looking for short, helpful health tips, go to YouTube and punch in Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. So, log on to GetTheT.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's GetTheT.com.
Now you have the inside contact for Alternative Talk Radio. The Planet. KGRAradio.com.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for hour number 2 of Dark Matters Radio. And the phone lines are open. If you'd like to join in tonight, give us a call. 855-472-5483 or 85 KGRA Live. And all of that, thank you, Paranormal Radio app hotline. And we do have a call. Gang, we've got Ron from Minnesota calling in. Ron, good evening. What's on your mind?
Hello, Don, and hello to everyone. Too many damn names to remember, so forgive me for not mentioning everybody's name.
Well, there's Commander Cobra. There's Mark D'Antonio. Yeah. There's Amanda. There's Robert Stanley. There's Chris DiPerno. I mean, who else do you need, Ronald?
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight and for having a conversation like this. And thank you, Bill, for having a show like this, and Mark for allowing your YouTube channel to be overrun by a bunch of crazy people talking about this kind of stuff. But as you showed some beautiful pictures, I wanted to go off the track just a little bit about something scientific. I saw today a post about when you look from a black hole, you're seeing things, the whole universe at once. And in the past, you're looking at it. Did you see a post like that? I can't remember exactly how to explain it. When you're looking at it from the black hole, like on the on the edge of it, and you're looking at space, you're looking at out into the past or the future, or however you want to look at it, right?
Right. Well, if you're looking at a star that is approximately 500 light years away, that's looking at the star as it was 500 years ago.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
But Ronald, your question is, you were asking whether you see the entire universe. I don't know how we got off of the coronavirus and now we're on this, but that's okay.
No, I just saw this article and I thought of you right away, Mark, and I wanted to ask you this question. Of course, I have your big book.
I see lots of articles and I think of Mark right away.
In the bulletin board saying, if you see this man, call the police.
I actually have Mark's new book, which I recommend you guys get. Make sure you go to Amazon.
Now I understand the nature of this call.
I had nothing to do with this.
How much did Mark pay you for this?
And you get. Well, he's not really at all. He will show me how to use my telescope over the summer sometime when I can go visit him in Arizona. But anyway, The Populated Universe is a remarkable book. I got the large print, giant pictures and everything, and the type is actually large enough to read. But no, with the black hole scenario, what I'm thinking of is you would only see, like if the black hole at the center of our galaxy, if there is one, it would only see our galaxy. It wouldn't see the whole universe. You'd be stuck with your localized universe. Am I right?
I'm not sure of the context of the question. Actually, I don't mean to put you off on this, Ronald, but this is Don's show, so he should kind of weigh in whether I should answer astronomy questions on his show.
What do you think?
No, I don't mind, Mark. I don't mind.
You can answer the question as well.
You, Don,
for anybody that, for anyone that has a thought about this question, I mean, I just directed it to Mark because he does these studies on black holes and different things that we talk about all the time, and that's why I only asked him at the moment. I might have other questions for everybody, but we can talk all night on that. No, we won't.
Well, we got another phone call waiting in the wings here, Ronald.
All right. So thank you for the show again. And Mark, just think about that question and consider the thought of how far can you look out from a black hole, and things like that.
It'd be nice if you could maybe prepare a paper tonight, Mark, and get it to him in the morning.
Yes, Mark. Get that done. And thanks, Ron. We're going to Mike in Michigan. And Mike, welcome to the show. What's on your mind?
Hey, Don. Good show tonight, man.
Thank you.
3 letters. EMP. What are they
Okay,
preparing us for?
electronic magnetic pulse. You're trying to knock out all the telecommunications nationwide and the electric grid, or what, Mike?
Yeah, that's what they're preparing us for, buddy.
Who is?
Who do you think is going to deliver it?
You see all those drones in the sky?
Yeah, but who do you think is going to deliver it? Who's going to deliver the EMP pulse?
That's a good question. I say they're just preparing us for the grid shutdown.
Grid shutdown. Okay.
I can see us being. I can see something else being a second hit after this. No disagreement with that. But who do you think, since you posed the question, would dare do that?
The swamp, Deuce? Could it be the swamp?
Well, I've seen them try to take this president down and undo an election. So, yeah, I think that there could be a possible way. But that takes quite a bit to pull that off.
You know,
Not
Don, I got a
necessarily.
question
There's
for
a
you
lot of
in
chainsaws
Commander.
and a lot of gas out there. A lot of people got a lot of chainsaws and a lot of gas. The whole electrical system could come down pretty easy.
Yeah, that kind of sabotage is a little bit different than what you're applying though for the EMP portion of the if there was to be that kind of an attack.
No, I'm saying there's a whole bunch of drones out there. Nobody knows
But
where any
drones
are
generally do
coming
not
from.
carry enough weight, enough power to do that. They could do physical kinetic damage by smashing into things to bring it down. And I'm with you. I completely agree that we have not paid attention to.
I love that word, Deuce. Kinetic. I love that.
Yeah, well, that's because you like to take a little friend with you when you
what
go
I'm
out
saying is
traveling around.
It rhymes with Connecticut.
This is just a
Just
prepared.
Only after you had 2 drinks does it rhyme with Connecticut, but we understand what you meant.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
Anybody
this is
know
just
what
a
the
trial
Russians
run.
have been doing?
Vodka.
Well, they just rewrote their constitution so that Vladimir can continue to be their president to 2036, I believe, is what I saw.
Yeah, but I haven't heard anything about this coronavirus of Russia. I mean,
They're immune.
Getting hit hard, or is it? There's not much news on that.
Well, they have a lot of intercourse, and don't read anything into that. But they have a lot of intercourse with the Chinese. So hey,
is that like something that prevents it, or I mean, what's going? Does anybody know? I guess not.
You can get an accurate
I just
picture out of Russia.
I just want to throw this out there. I think it's just like that Boston bombing marathon. They seen how fast they could lock down a city. Well, now they're seeing how fast they can lock down your country.
It's called a pressure cooker. Yeah.
I think you have a very good point there. And
Thank you.
it's been lodged by it, and it's been made by a number of people. If you are an enemy of the United States, to watch how quickly this has, just ground us down to a halt is amazing.
But we could have done this all of ourselves. We could have said, okay, we don't like the way it's going. On Monday, all of us ain't showing up for work. Then if that doesn't work, we're saying, okay, next week on Monday and Tuesday, we're not showing up for work. Then next week, same thing. We could have shut this whole thing down ourselves. The truckers could have shut this whole thing down. You know?
Well, we don't want to. They have to be paid. They have to have families,
It's a lot of pain.
Yeah, they wouldn't. No one has the will to do that.
Wherewithal. Yep.
well,
Yeah, but
here's the other thing. We are well over $20 trillion in debt. Okay. Now they just suggested.
What's everybody
Hang on a
actually
minute.
doing here?
Hang on a minute. They just suggested sending $1,200 to every man and woman in this country, a check. Now,
Yeah, what's that
what
gonna do
in
when
the
you can't buy
hell
nothing?
is that going to do to our national debt? Even more so. It scares me. I'll
Well,
tell
we
you.
need to send the bill. We need to send the bill to China when this is all done. And say, we
Roger
don't wanna buy
that.
your junk no
You got that one right, Mike. And
We're
I
sick of
could
buying your
not
junk
agree
that
with
breaks
you more.
As soon as you buy it, this is a two-way street.
We got to get,
We're
look,
funding
buddy, we got to
communism.
get moving. We got another call. But I want to
Thank you,
thank you
guys.
for your call. Keep listening. And we're going to go to Massachusetts. We've got our buddy Lib on the air. Lib, how's it going?
Good evening, Don and peeps. I hope you're all doing well. I thought I'd call and change it up a little bit, and then the caller Ronald threw a curveball. I'd like to just bring up.
Now, is that curved space that you're referring to, Lib? I just want to make sure we're keeping the astrophysics on the same level.
That's right. Yeah, gravity bent space, light.
Thank you, Mark, for backing me up there, being my wingman. Thank you.
I thought I'd change it up a little bit and give some people doing some good during these trying times a shout out. In the greater New York area, there are a couple ladies. I'm going to use their names because they're very public now, but a gal by the name of Melanie Bavera and a Park Slope resident named Lily Pollock are using an app called Nextdoor. And what they've done is they've recruited volunteers, and they have 116 volunteers. And what they're doing is they're doing grocery shopping, pharmaceutical runs for the elderly, walking their dogs, calling them and making sure they're okay. So those ladies deserve a shout out. And by the way, there are numerous other states where they're using the app Nextdoor now, and it's the young people that volunteer to help out the old people. So a shout out to them. And two people, and Chris is on, I'll probably butcher this, but in Onondaga County, New York, it's a virus testing center, and they do not.
You did well.
They do not have enough protective equipment. So a gentleman by the name of Isaac Budman and his girlfriend Stephanie Keefe, they own a 3D printing company. Well, on their own, they developed a method to print face shields, and then they called the county and told them that they had 50 face shields. And without being asked, and then the county told them they needed 250 more. So they're getting together additional 3D printers to build face shields for the county.
Did they build them to buy a business license? By the way, because I could see that happening.
No, they didn't. They build and sell 3D printers, and on their own volition, they designed a way to make a face shield. And then when they knew the shortage was in existence in Onondaga County, then they called them. And as a matter of fact, they don't even know what they're going to charge them yet. And I will put an article in the chat room for people to share. And the people said, don't worry about the price. We just want to get you the shields. So good things are coming out of this. In Italy, they put a call out because they needed valves for ventilators. They're in short supply. And I'll butcher the last name, but a gentleman by the name of Fracassi obtained a 3D printer. He wrote a program to develop a ventilator valve for the hospital, and he 3D printed a valve and it cost a whole $1 to manufacture this valve on a 3D printer. And guess what they get charged by the manufacturer of the ventilator?
How much?
$11,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and they made one for $1. And I just wanted to let you make people aware of something. I heard you talking about NAFTA before, but I will tell you because I've been involved in it. There's a program called Maquiladoras, and in Spanish that means dual plant. And if you have a facility within 10 kilometers of the Mexican border in the United States, you can also have a facility within 10 kilometers inside of Mexico. So what the U.S. companies do, by the way, is they have a facility, all right, and there's 15 to 20 boxes stacked on pallets, and all of the manufacturing is done in Mexico, and they move goods back and forth across the border with no duty, and it's called Maquiladoras. That has been in place for many, many years. So when I hear people talk about NAFTA, I'd like to at least make them aware of Maquiladoras because it's NAFTA on steroids, by the way. So thanks for listening to me yap. I just wanted to present some positive spins on what's coming out of this.
So, Lib, what are you doing different in this time, Lib? Besides not coming over to see me, what are you doing different?
Well, if you want to know what I'm doing different, I'm lying low and avoiding my fellow man right now. This is a little bit crazy. What's upsetting is, in my opinion, and it's not right, and I know it's a concerted effort, it has to be a national effort, is they're telling people where people have the virus by county, and they are not doing it by city or town. And I'm sorry, but that is not right. So they're withholding information from the people. But I truly have been trying to avoid getting this, and hopefully I won't. But I'll be the first one to help someone out if need be. We should give the grocery stores and all the workers a shout out. I worry about those people.
And the truckers that are out there busting their hump to move this stuff and not having great state support for places
Amen,
to get fuel
brother.
and get some park. These truckers are right on the front lines moving with every nurse and doctor that's and ward helper and everyone else on the medical side.
From your lips to God's ears.
Lib, this is
sir.
Chris. Could you send me that information about the mask covers on chat or in a private message? Because my wife is a nurse in Onondaga County, of course. And what I will do is I not only will I buy her one, of course, but I will buy everyone for their units if they're, a reasonable price. Because you know what? These nurses are the front line of this defense. I'll tell you that now, the nurses and doctors. And they're asking for more nurses and doctors to come out of retirement up here in New York to make and face this challenge. And if we don't protect them, if we don't do what Lib has just explained to get them equipment that they need, we're going to be in twice the problems that we have now.
Well, Chris, if you go into the chat lounge right now, is the article with the people's business name and their names.
I'm sending it to him right now.
Great, and I would call them very soon because once the publicity gets out, they're probably inundated. And
I'll drive right to their shop.
Okay,
and,
Lib. Thanks a lot. We got to move along. We got another call waiting. Hey, have a great weekend, buddy.
You too. Thank you very much.
And we're going to go to Scott in Minnesota. Scott, welcome to the show. How you doing tonight?
Hi there, John. This is probably directed more at you and the commander, but I smell globalist collusion here because it's this virus broke out, and almost simultaneously the Saudis and the Russians declared war on each other and drove the price of oil down to less than half of what it used to be.
Oh, yeah. I even saw a news report either today or yesterday, which suggested gasoline could literally drop down to 83 cents a gallon. Now, I find that hard to believe that could happen, but hey, stranger things have.
Around here, it's only $1 away.
And how many people in the oil fields are out of work, and how many companies are going to go out of business? Yeah, they're trying to kill our nation off.
Yeah, the economy it's in dire straits right now. Dire straits. I don't know. Commander, what do you say?
That's something you guys didn't mention yet.
No, I brought it up. I agree with you. I think that this is orchestrated. I think that there's many forces here that have joined up with this. We have some kind of crazy love affair in this country with the People's Republic of China, where you have concentration camps, forced harvesting of body parts for the world market, and we've all we've played along with it. We like cheap goods. We went with it. We acted like this is just, the party's never going to end. And then we get a president that says, we're going to reset the table. We're not going to have this. You're going to have to earn your place to have most favored status in the economy and things that are going on. And he publicly sided with the Hong Kong protesters. So what's the outpouring that's coming out of that? Don put in a little bit about Lenin. Let me throw the one that Stalin used that I remember, and I'll paraphrase on that. You lose 10 people in a car accident, it's a tragedy. You lose 1 million people, it's a statistic. We're dealing with people that do not care about the individual, and they do not prize liberty. And we've gotten lazy within the United States on this. That's one part of it. And then the other part of it is we have a media that has gone off onto one side of this. And if tomorrow President Trump was to come out and say that the sun was going to rise in the east, there would be a story saying that he lied again about that event. It's just where we're at. But there's something more behind this. I agree with you. This is, to me, this is equal an attack as anything that has happened in my lifetime.
The media is extremely misguided. They're actually doing a disservice to mankind.
And here's the other thing I want to throw out.
And they don't give a shit either.
Let me throw this out, because this is the audience. This is the people that listen to this station. What has happened to everything that we were been talking about leading up to this about 3 weeks ago? What has happened to all our conferences, all the get-togethers? This is the year that we thought we were going to close in on some more disclosure. What has just happened to all of that? All of that has been reset. No conferences. We're probably going to be years before we ever get back to having groups show up again, because you can only imagine what's going to happen when the next coronavirus season comes out after we survive this one. So I pose that to the caller as well as everyone out there. What comes next? We had a remark that was in the chat room earlier that I'm going to continue to pose. I'll pose it tomorrow night on my show. What are we going to do different as individuals and people that listen to this station in the future? Mrs. Cobra and I always took very funny cyber glances from most of our friends and family, because we were always, quote unquote, kind of preppers. We weren't super serious where I have a huge bunker in the basement or out back built, but we were always ready to go for anything, a snowstorm, power outages, all that kind of stuff. Now, of course, we're looked upon with a lot more sympathy and a lot more, well, that maybe wasn't such a bad idea, but what are we going to do different in the future after this? And this is where I think the president is going to get his greatest day coming out. If we bring back manufacturing to this country and we start thinking about how we have to do it within the borders of our country, we're able to go out and do what we did in World War II, because everyone keeps referring to this as the World War. The big difference is we built things in this country then, and we don't do that so much anymore. We look down upon it, and we need to recheck our thinking.
I think we need to build our pharmaceuticals, our antibiotics, so we can't be threatened like this again. I know, but we got to prioritize and take stuff like pharmaceuticals out of the Chinese hands, the People's Republic of China, take them out of their hands so they can't say, hey, you know what, you're going to rebargain with us again. We'll get the sneakers and the T-shirts and everything else out, but can you imagine what would happen if they said, nah, we're just not going to send you any more pharmaceuticals. Your antibiotics, your high blood pressure medicine, all that stuff, is just not going to come over anymore until you start redealing different things with us. So I think you're right, Commander, and Don. I think you're absolutely right. But I think what we got to do is take the damn things that they can threaten us with first out.
Okay.
Cricket.
Well,
yeah.
With that being said,
just trying to liven up the conversation.
The lines are open if you'd like to call in and talk to any of us. 855-472-5483. That's 855-472-5483. And the easy way to remember it, 85 KGRA Live. And a big thank you to the Paranormal Radio app hotline. And boy, oh boy, I'll tell you guys, I think I'm going to pour myself another virtual drink.
No, Don, it's not virtual when you're actually pouring the drink. We're at the virtual bar.
That's true. Well, I got weak tonight. I didn't bring in my adult beverage to the studio.
Really?
Goose, no, I didn't. My wife said to me, she said, I thought you were taking that in there. And I said, well, I think they were all actually joking, but apparently I was wrong.
Well, we can continue this drinking contest over at my show.
Yes, and that's the reason why I didn't have any alcohol until Roberto's show starts, because some of us had animals to tend and to make sure that we had hay moved, and Mrs. Cobra was digging a new goose pond. So, that's how we're keeping things lively up here.
You got to prioritize these things, Commander.
Hey, the geese have been waiting all winter for their pond, so they're getting their pond.
Is it true you can goose a geese, or no? Is it a geese a goose?
You can geese a goose, but you can't goose a geese.
All right. Well, I know I can tune
like
a fish, but I can't tune a piano. So that.
Are we going to talk about crabs, organs, and pianos again? Is that where this is going?
No, but that was a very interesting notation you made about the Chinese selling body parts. A lot of people, I am sure, have no idea that happens. And it's absolutely true. It's horrific. It's horrendous. Those people, in fact, are monsters. But what do you do about it? What would you suggest?
Well, I think what we needed to do a long time ago is what we're going to probably drive to and what Chris was speaking of. We need to break our ties with what we're dealing with the situation that we have allowed ourselves to get into with them. And we've got to stop acting like it's not happening. We have an incident that occurs with someone that's involved in warfare or terrorism that happens to be of the Islamic faith. And it is major league up front, and in many cases, as it should be, ground that to the truth. The Chinese, the PRC, has been running concentration camps for the Uyghurs for 50 years. Yep. And is harvesting their organs when they tissue type them.
And the Falun Gong are targeted as well.
Right, because their religious beliefs are not in line with the Communist Manifesto. Nary a worry. Nothing to see here, folks. Keep moving on. Get your cheap sneakers, get your cheap electronics, and keep going. And now we find ourselves, now we're getting upset that someone says, well, you know what? If you keep banging on it, I'm not going to give you your drugs. Well, to me, that's a declaration of war. And
Absolutely.
There's many ways to fight it. And I think the easy way to fight it is you say, fine, stuff it. You can eat those drugs, and you hammer them.
Yeah.
But we need to wake up as a group of people. Maybe just a teeny bit more time on this and a little less on The Bachelor and Dancing with the Stars and Voice and all the other great shows that we're supposed to be watching on TV while this is going on.
Don't throw Supernatural in there now. That's
no.
I swear to God, I was about to say the same thing.
No. Amanda, now come on. You've been a guest on my show, and you know I love Supernatural. I'm almost all the way through the 4th season when I can get around animal care and all the other things, flying airplanes and doing that stuff. I love that show.
Yeah,
it's not a reality-based show. In fact,
it is. They announced that the Winchesters were getting canceled, so God decided to cancel Earth. And this is the result. This is our last season on planet Earth.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you.
And they actually, they stopped production of Supernatural so the Winchesters could go and close whatever hell gate this opened. And
Amanda, quickly, whose shoulders?
Pardon me?
Shoulders.
Who is Shoulders?
Who is Shoulders?
Yes. A real Supernatural fan would know.
I don't know.
Who's Pie?
Baby is.
I was going to say Sam. He's got some pretty big shoulders.
That's the one. Shoulders.
Okay, well, logically, he's a moose, of course.
And Dean is Pie. Shoulders and Pie.
Shoulder. Oh, sorry. I'm a Crowley girl deep down. It's Squirrel and Moose.
Wow.
Oh,
Have you gotten there, Mark? Mark has finally caved and he's started to watch Supernatural. And how timely. 2 weeks ago, that episode kind of coincided with what's going on now.
I definitely started to watch. That's correct.
How deep are you? How deep are you, Mark?
Do you know who Crowley is yet? He knows who Cass is.
Oh, I know who Cass is, yeah.
Do you know who Crowley is yet?
Crowley?
Okay, he's in like season 5.
Yeah.
He's the bad guy, right?
I'm not as deep in it as...
He's a good bad guy.
Kind of.
He's
good
No
bad.
spoilers for Mark, please. But hey, while everyone's quarantined, go check out wherever Supernatural is being played on
Netflix.
or
Netflix. It's
Is
on
it on
Netflix.
Netflix? Still good.
Yes.
There you go. Gives you something to do. We're in season 15, so by the time you're done, quarantine should be over.
Well, you know the bad news, Amanda.
Uh-oh.
The last 2 episodes of the series, which will tie, I guess, everything up, they've been suspended because of the virus outbreak.
Well, this is exactly the time that people would watch.
Yeah.
No, are they done? I thought production was halted.
No, they're
That's
still
why we aren't going to see them yet.
still two episodes to go, and they've been
exactly.
they've gone on hiatus because of the virus shutdown.
Or because the Winchesters are going to stop pencilist.
I think Chuck is playing games, Amanda. That's what I think.
I think so too.
Who's Chuck, Dawn?
No spoilers. Come on.
Who's Chuck?
I
Not
can't.
everyone's caught up yet.
I can't be told. I don't know.
Who's Amara, Dawn?
Amara? That's our friend's daughter.
Yeah, well, it's a guilty pleasure, and once it gets its hooks in you, you're done. I mean,
I
you're
agree.
just done.
I thought that I used to watch that show Deployed, downrange all the time because it was very big on the Armed Forces Network, and there was a lot of folks that listen via that are in the military. I don't know what so universally, but I always thought the storyline and the moral code in it was very, very high, and super good writing. I thought through the whole thing. I thought the way they did their music was exceptionally well. Is good stuff as well.
The soundtrack to that show is impeccable.
Although
Dean is a big Led Zeppelin fan, and maybe I don't want to open that can of worms, but
actually, that's one of the things I like most about the show is that whenever you hear these shows come on, they always play Pretender songs. Not of the Pretenders, but I mean songs that are just the mimics
made up for the show. Yeah.
And
don't forget Kansas. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, Kansas.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And
I'll never. That song will always make me tear up forever. That'll always be linked to
Wayward
Supernatural
Son? Which
now.
one?
Yeah. Carry On Wayward Son.
My Wayward Son. Come on, let's all sing.
Right?
Nah, I don't think we could.
And Bon Jovi. I even kind of like Bon Jovi.
Good music.
Well, no, I mean they used Wanted Dead or Alive in there several times, and that was just the right choice.
Sure. No, I mean, the show is exceptionally good. So it would not have been in my list of the reality shows that I was talking about that, it's the bread and circus routine that's on TV. And now we find that people are right here staring this down.
And surprisingly, I kind of got caught up with Picard since it aired.
Picard is an excellent series about Jean-Luc Picard of Starfleet long after he retires. And he meets up with Brent Spiner, who was long since dead Data in the series. He died saving Picard's life in the series. And, of course, there's Jonathan Frakes, number one. And, of course, we have Marina Sirtis, the Beta Z in there. She's in there, too.
There's only one person I was waiting for, Mark, and she showed up.
Marina?
7 of 9.
9, that's right. She's in there, too, yeah.
Oh my God! I could have met her. I could have met her 20 years ago, and I was too nervous. I couldn't do it.
And, well, besides Marina Sirtis and what's her name there that plays 7 of 9,
Jerry Ryan.
There you go, Jerry Ryan. We also
What's
have
her name? It's Jerry Ryan. Let me hear you say it, Mark. Jerry Ryan.
Jerry Ryan.
There you go.
I won't forget it. Yeah, Jerry Ryan, and she is in there, and she actually plays alongside the character that plays Hugh, the actual character that was the Borg that Picard rescued way back in the Next Gen.
Yes.
In the movies, I think one of the movies, and Hugh was in there too, and I thought that was really cool. I love those crossovers, and it's really nice. Really, really nice. So I thought that the series has some excellent merit to it. You can't keep Picard down. He's got a ship now. He's out there tooling around the galaxy for a specific reason, and that is that Data's long dead, except he isn't really. And that's as much as I'll say for those that haven't seen it. So there.
Yeah, and
I'd like some reaction to the point I brought up earlier about all our canceled conferences, get-togethers, major recognitions that were going to occur this year. Any angst amongst us?
I never get invited anyway, so I don't care.
Well, actually, I did want to say something before, but it slipped my mind. So thank you for reminding me.
That's why I'm here, Mark. Please,
you're the man. Thank you. That's Commander for you.
Just trying to be a good wingman, Mark. Just trying to be a good.
Well, look, yeah, we all have issues. I mean, I've got books I'd like to sell now at conferences, and the truth is though that the conferences will be around, and if we can't withstand 4 or 5 months of less attention for what we do, then it means we've got another problem, and that is that we just love the attention too much. I can put it away if I have to. I can, none of us are getting rich on the conferences. We are getting out in the public eye, but you know what? No one wants to go to these conferences until they feel confident that they can go and not have to worry about the guy sniffling behind you. So until that comes again, I don't know if I want to be in a conference where the guy in the audience says, I got coronavirus because I went to see Mark D'Antonio talk. I don't want to be associated with that. So I'm quite all right with letting this play out and waiting for this all to go away and waiting for people to get healthy again and wait for this scare to go away, because I think it is a scare. I don't think that it's as – yes, you look at Italy, you look at the other people. Italy's been hit really hard, okay? I don't know why.
They got it from the Chinese workers, Mark.
Okay, maybe so. I don't know.
That's.
I mean, every country that has a huge relationship with the People's Republic of China has had huge outbreaks.
Yeah, I mean that's true. And so I'm not.
And then they forgot to tell us that this was going on. In fact, they said it wasn't going on, so people were boarding airplanes and going back and forth.
Yeah, they were lying for sure. And I mean, when people say, this just happened, well, it just happened back in 2019. All right, Corona's been out since 2019, lest anyone forget that. And we didn't hear about it until, we've had measures put in place in our state, Connecticut, only within the last, week or so. We've started to see measures being enforced. We're not being told we have to stay in. It's not martial law. I think it has to get really bad before that happens, and it hasn't yet. So I just think that there's a lot going on that we may not know, but I also think that we're not being told everything, precisely because of the fact that they don't know everything. They don't know what's going on. Most of the folks have no idea. Most of the people in charge have no idea what's really going on. And it's taking time. It's going to take time. I don't know. It's just. I think we're going to come out of this just fine, and it will actually be a matter of maybe a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks before people start to say, "Well, the worst is over." So we'll see.
I hope you're right.
What are they coming up with this 18-month business?
Well, I think I heard
18 month for a vaccine, right?
Or into July and August before it alleviates somewhat.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I've been hearing. But, I look back on all these other big ones. I mean, swine flu was the big deadly virus celeb back then. And people had to, use measures to protect themselves. And everyone says, well, it wasn't like swine flu. Yeah, well, we didn't have a media like we have now back then. We didn't have the internet like we have now back then. Information didn't travel at the speed of the fingers as you type out on a keyboard.
No, Mark, the media we had the ability to move it. The media put somebody into the White House. They were very supportive of the person that was in the White House.
That's right.
That was the big difference back during swine flu. We didn't do anything for 90 days as a country, starting from the White House and the government. Nothing. We killed, or a lot of people died because we didn't take any extra actions. We go through this every year if we're going to get the flu vaccine and go on that. What has happened is 50% or 51% of the country put somebody into the White House that the other 49 or 50% didn't like. And no one's gotten over it. This is a continuation of that same process going on.
I know using it for that. You're right. As you know, we've heard the old phrase, never let a good crisis go to waste. Go to waste.
Yeah.
Rahm Emanuel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mark, I got a question.
Former flamingo dancer.
Mark, what do you think of the media now making China to be the world leader now that they're out there helping Italy and trying to send them equipment and everything like that? I mean, they caused this darn thing, and now they're being pumped up by the media as the world leader, taking the forefront of helping people throughout the world.
Oh, yeah. Aren't they just so magnanimous? Okay. The bottom line is, that in my view, that whole feature is exactly what I expected from our media. Okay. Because our media has systematically done everything against life, liberty, and the American way, if you want to put it that way. All right. I think they want to be communist. I really do. I think they somehow think that that's going to, I think that's probably the kind of thing that they're coming on board for, just to be able to slam anyone that says this. Now, had we had a president, for instance, that was more on the media side, well, they would have recommended him for another Nobel Prize right now for the efforts that he, of course, has been making. Every little thing they would just fall all over him about and say, oh, what a wonderful thing. Wow. So I don't know. I just think that it's kind of crazy.
I'd like to find out who actually owns some of these media stations. I mean, the big corporations, who's really pulling the strings behind the scenes, who's saying this is the type of propaganda we're going to put out, rather than giving the real truth. I mean, there's got to be people that are saying, this is how you're going to play this. This is what you're going to do. But you never hear their names.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Did somebody say Satan? I'm just hearing things.
Oh. That's right. I remember, was it, what's his name? He said that, oh gosh, church lady.
Dana Carvey.
Dana Carvey. It's like, oh, I don't know. Was it maybe Satan?
Well, I mean, this is an interesting dynamic that you bring up, Robert. I'm sure we'll probably pick it up on your show. There isn't a lot of talk about this, and it's had a wonderful effect. Churches are closed. Religious services have come to a complete screeching halt.
I heard here from some of the workers over at my place, they're doing virtual churches on Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, you got a lot of stuff going on online, and there's been, I think a lot of support for that. A lot of good stuff going on with the streaming.
Yeah.
But
not
you
real.
you don't hear anybody turning to that. You don't hear any kind of discussion on that because it's we're past that. We're not going to be that nation.
Yeah. Well, at least a lot of people are going to boost their immune system probably for the first time in their life. They're thinking about proper nutrition, maybe meditation, or whatever gets them to calm down.
Yeah.
Tequila?
Say again?
Tequila?
And tequila. I'm hearing things.
No, you're not hearing things. You said proper nutrition. I've been drinking tequila here, so I thought.
Yes. Well, cheers, brother.
I mean, if Don can drink, I said, well, I might as well go to the bar and pick up something right there. You know?
Yes, sir.
A little RX from
and
Mexico.
all the drinks are on the house tonight.
Ginger right
here because you're in your own house, as it were.
Yeah, we knew where you were going, Robert.
I'm sorry.
I was going to roll into that.
Yeah.
Sir Decker.
Yes.
I believe you have a call, sir.
You sure about that? By God, you are correct.
Just trying to be a wingman.
I was watching it. I was watching
to be your wingman.
Okay, you're a good one. This is our Marianne from Arizona. How you doing?
I am wonderful, Don. How are you?
I'm doing okay. What's on your mind?
Well, I want to thank you guys for basically this round table you guys are doing tonight. It's awesome. We're dealing, of course, in Arizona with the virus. We haven't been on lockdown like, of course, New York. Hi, Chris.
The virus is scared of you.
They better be. I'll tase them.
But California, don't forget us.
That's true. California. At least you're able to at least go get groceries if it's needed. But I thank you guys for doing this. Like you guys all been praising the truckers, which are amazing. First responders, the doctors, the nurses at the hospitals, because they're kind of stuck inside with them more than I am on patrol. But I do appreciate you guys doing this and talking about it. Hopefully, maybe another month, and things can slow down a little bit.
I think so.
Do you think, Marianne, there's going to be any changes?
As in where?
Long term?
As in,
do you think there's going to be a difference? Do you think we're going to just forget about this when it clears,
No.
or do you think we're going to make some changes?
I think
You're
we'll
on the front
probably,
lines.
one
I'm curious
thing,
from your position what you think is going to be different.
I think one of the things that needs to be different is, matter of fact, I just went shopping today at the stores, and a whole bunch of stuff is gone, and it just doesn't make sense on some of the things that people are hoarding. I'm hoping this changes people's minds, as in they need to have at least be prepared. Be at least 6 months out prepared in your house, whether it's toilet paper,
Amen for
whether
that.
it's paper towels, whether it's food. You can get dry food. I know people that have a year's supply. I think that is very important.
Those people like you.
I'm on. Yeah. And like I'm good. I buy little things here and there. My weekly shopping. I'm a little upset that has to change a little bit. But I wish people would quit hoarding stuff that the elderly needs. The elderly needs to be number one. That's how I feel. How the laws are going to change, I don't think anything on that front. I mean, look, when we had the gas issue, the gas prices and the shortage of gas, that was a big thing for a while, and then it slowed down. I think it's the N1, is it the N1H1 virus? That was a big thing for a while there.
Yeah, that was swine.
And right, and that kind of went down. Is it because it's a political year that this is just kind of elevated? I don't know. But changes in the laws and changes overall, probably not. I think this is going to go. We're going to get a vaccine. Everybody's going to get back to normal. But I just wish people would just think about this, that I'll tell you right now, maybe in about 2 or 3 years, something else is going to happen. Let's all be prepared in their homes that if they do get stuck for 14 days, they don't have to run out and hoard everything. Everybody will be in the same boat, and everybody will have enough, whatever they need, whether it's food, whether it's paper products, or what, is what I would recommend. So that's my 2 cents.
Great call.
I actually found some hand sanitizer yesterday at the liquor store. And it
That's
looked...
called,
Hey, send
that's
some my
called
way.
bourbon.
My wife made our own sanitizer.
Yes.
We have some alcohol, 61%. I'm talking about, what the hell? Isopropyl?
Isopropyl?
Oh, okay,
Yeah. and a little dish soap, just a dab, a cup of water, put it in a squirt bottle, and it works pretty well.
Yep.
Excellent. Another little trick, if anybody, listeners are listening, is Amazon has been great. Stuff that I can't find at Walmart, I've been getting on Amazon, and it's here within just a couple of days.
Yeah,
some places they're not delivering unless it's what did they say, medical supplies or something urgent. Amazon has had to limit because the warehouses, they're worried about their workers.
I was out shopping with my wife just yesterday. One of the things we forgot to get were coffee filters, and I just ordered some from Amazon. I'm a Prime member, and it's going to be here in a couple of days. So
that's great.
That's very good.
That's good. Yeah. And you know what? You can also cut up paper towels to use as coffee filters if you need it. If it got to that point, so. We can all make things out of, like you making your own sanitizer, which is so awesome. That's fantastic. Well, guys, thank you again. I just need to call in and thank you. I appreciate you being on here, and I love all of you guys' shows on KGRA, on their nights you guys are on. So thank you very much, and you guys all be safe.
Bye, Marianne.
Well, Marianne, have a great weekend. Thank you.
I shall.
Stay safe.
Okay. All right. Well, we got 6 minutes. I guess we still have time to take another call if you're so inclined. 855-472-5483. Then we will be slipping over to Unicus Radio with Mr. Robert Stanley. And the gang will all be there too, except Robert will be cracking the whip.
Yeah,
Talking
I'm
about
a couple
Satan
sheets
reference right there.
I'm a couple sheets to the wind, guys. So I don't expect a whole lot. I'll do my absolute best because the floor is moving right now.
Does anybody know what that expression "sheets to the wind" comes from? He's
sailing.
It's a naval thing, and I don't mean your belly button.
Wow.
Whoa!
I thought you were meant like an orange, like a naval orange. Wow.
Anyway, I'm just being super silly, guys. Don't pay attention to me.
It's okay. You're allowed to tap into the fun part every now and then.
I thought that was what the show was all about, but you guys really tricked me.
Well, you should have heard it. Well, you did hear us the other day.
I wasn't on the call. What do you think I'm doing here?
I think when Commander Cobra and I talked about doing this, I think you were here listening, right?
Yeah, the audience, if the audience could only, what we're referring to is we had a kind of a get-together call about what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. If that could have been taped, you would be buying it right now.
And Don was having a move.
And Don is sharing with us bodily function. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was very polite.
I didn't say you weren't. Why the defense? Why all defensive? All I was going to say it was something that, I mean, Sinatra and the Rat Pack.
I used the term abolition. I was in the middle of an abolition when the phone rang.
Did you really want to talk about that now?
Well, he brought it up.
He speaks fluent excremento, Mark. So you don't hold it against him.
That's terrible, but okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but it's don't worry. I will sober up tomorrow.
Oh, by the way, we're going to be doing this again tomorrow on Task Force Griffin. Is that correct, Commander?
That is correct. We're going to rip through 2 hours and a little bit as we go into Mark's show. And try to bring some information and drive this in.
And then Mark's going to throw us the hell out.
Yeah. No, and Mark's going to toss us.
I have a guest at 8:30. I have Ket Torvaldsen from Norway who's joining me. She's staying up really late just to be able to be on the show. You guys know Ket and I spoke throughout Norway in the summer, and we do the New Sciences tour. newsciences.com. We talk about all the stuff where science fails, basically, and she's writing a book on cosmology, so it's kind of a good banter that we have between us. Of course, she's also a Nordic, so I guess that is a very important thing too.
Right, that helps.
Well, we got a question from Blue Orb in the chat lounge.
Yes. Charles.
Yes. What will be the change after we count the cost and the dead? Will you trust your neighbor? That's kind of dark there, Orb.
Charles is like that sometimes, but you know what? I can tell you, in my view, when we count the dead in the end, we're going to say, not as many as we thought. I'm feeling that is going to be true.
I hope so.
Yeah, I don't think that this is, I don't think this is what it's being portrayed as. Commander has an idea about the engineered virus type of approach, and I can't say he's wrong. I don't know. None of us do. So I reserve the right to side with.
I think you're completely correct, Mark. My premise that engineered and this is just a response. This is an attack coming back. It's perfect Sun Tzu. They're not exerting a lot of energy on this because they don't have a lot of energy to exert.
50 seconds. 50
but I'm
seconds.
telling you, I think you're absolutely correct that the body count, and I pray to God I'm correct that you are as well, is going to be a lot lower. But if we ever look at what the flu and everything else is, it's going to be much higher.
That's right. The regular flu will do that as well.
Well, gang, that pretty much wraps it up for this edition of Dark Matters Radio. I want to thank Mark D'Antonio, Amanda Curran. I want to thank Robert Stanley, Chris DiPerno. I want to thank Commander Cobra. And we are going to move this party directly into Unicus Radio with Mr. Robert Stanley immediately following the break. So, in the meantime, keep your eyes pointed up, your ear to the ground. DMR will be back next Friday. Micah Hanks will be my guest. Nice. And that's it for tonight. So we'll see you then.